Right, I've got a Ducar 224. It's the UK version is a JCB 225. It's bored out to 265cc. It's got a 14:1 compression ratio and it's under full EFI control. The problem with that is when I'm trying to start it, the computer needs to see a smooth starting cycle so it can sync up the trigger wheel to give me the correct spark events. So I'm trying to use a pull start and it's not enough. Trying to use a paddle mixer to spin it, but the paddle mixer floats too much, so I get an inaccurate speed turn, so it all jolts. The next option was to go for an electric handheld starter. So looking around on the United States, there was a few available, but to bring them over here, it was too much money. I saw a couple of DIY versions and I thought, well, there's no reason why I can't do that. So what I did was started off with the basic kit, which is a GX390, and I need it to be quite talky. Starter kit, electric starter kit, 65 quid. Comes with, not that I'm going to be using this, your electric start panel, which will have the rectifier in there for the charging circuit, which it also comes with. Also included is a starter and the flywheel. I've actually sweated off the ring gear. So because I wanted to make sure this was a very talky starter, electric handheld starter, I bought a second starter off of eBay. That was 45 quid. The ring gear has been sweated onto the shaft. So this was my basic starting point, and I looked for the most common battery that eBay sell as an ATV battery, and it's this one. It's got 180, I think it's 180 cranking amps. I mean, it's already proved itself more than enough, so I'm very happy with that. That was £29 delivered. So we have the basic stuff, then it's the matter of measuring up. I had a look at various starters, electric starters on YouTube and various karting websites, and just got a sort of rough idea what they should be size wise and how they should be designed. So because I'm going a slightly different way, I had to approach this in a different way, because the Bendix starter actually works in reverse, so I can't just drive straight to the go-kart. What I have to do is have the starters this side, the ring gear spinning this way, and that's the only way that it will actually spin correctly. But the advantage of that is this is the correct starter for the job, because it's a Bendix starter. So as soon as there's any overspin from the engine, then it just releases straight away. I started off with a 30mm shaft, and it's actually drilled out as far as I could go with the drill, and then reduced in size just to make it a little bit lighter. It's got a bit of weight to it. This was a bit of 12mm plate, which I've also lightened, so this doesn't really actually weigh that much. It's quite easy to move around. So I knew that I was using a 30mm shaft, so I got two bearings with carriers, £16 from eBay, and they fit on that side. They fit there and there. Now then, to get this accurate, so the ring gear in the correct position, I'll just stick that in for a moment. So the starter motor engages correctly. It's getting this to mesh up. So the way that I did it was, There's no real magic or science to this. I know the width of, I know the diameter of the actual flywheel, and I was able to work out the centre point of this, because this spacing between there and there is 65mm, and that, when that meshes up, when it meshes up, yeah, this part there, where the ringing gear sits on the flywheel, is actually level there. So I know that this is 65mm. I know that that point there is level there. So then I'm able to get the distance from the centre of there to the centre of there. So before I drilled anything out, I centre punched, double checked my measurements, and then drilled. And both sides worked out perfectly. So next one is I've got to make this as light as possible. That's why there's a few cutouts, etc. But it's nice and easy to handle. I made the battery tray out of aluminium because, again, for weight. So the next thing is, I think what I'll do is I'll do the basic build and show you where it all goes, how it all goes. Now the mechanics are put together. The battery is clamped in with a rubber standard strap, again off eBay, £2.50. The bearing and bearing carriers are all now in, flywheel's on, it's able to spin. The Bendix starter motors don't actually engage until there's electricity applied, because they spin up on a spiral. You've got standard 1/2-inch drive. Any impact socket goes on for any size of drive. The bearing carriers have got a couple of little grub screws which hold the shaft in place in the correct place. Obviously this is not very safe, so I've just made up a cover. This is a bit of alley tread plate, again as light as possible. I just ground off the tread, rolled some alley and tigged it on. This also acts as the second bolt for the starters, so that just goes on like that, completely covering the ring gear. Next stage we'll put this on, and I'll have all the wiring put on for you, as well as the push button which goes there. The wiring is now all done. This is my 20 amp push button switch. It's just a contact switch, that's all. The shunting is done by the solenoids. We used this all day while I was testing to try and sync up the engine, and the battery lasted all day. We finally put a charge in it at the end of the day, because you could hear it starting to labour. Yeah, so quite simple wiring. You've got the main, well, first of all, the earth goes straight down onto the battery tray, and then I've got my live which goes to there. That then feeds to the switch. The switch then activates this, and from the battery again I've got the other solenoid which goes onto that. The grub screws are now all done up, and as you can see it's free moving. It's all still a little bit tight. Once the bearings get themselves sorted out, then yeah, it'll be fine. But that's more or less it. Oh, I will put some insulated covers on this on both sides, because that's permanently live. That's my starter, electric starter. I don't know, probably 180 quid, I suppose, something like that. I mean, I don't think it's too bad for 180 quid. It will start anything because of the half-inch socket. So yeah, there you go.